Aloha, Magnum fans. Today we're going to be talking about Magnum's underwear. That's right. If you want to dress like Magnum, let's do it right. Let's get all the details, okay? Um, Question when you talk about underwear, boxers or briefs? Well, clearly in 2 episodes, he wore boxers. So let's have a look, see what we can come up with. All right, so I know what some of you might be thinking, like, hey, well, I'll just go out and buy myself a pair of boxers and go to Walmart or someplace and order them online on Amazon, and hey, I'll look like Magnum. Well, not really. Now, we all know that movie stars and people on TV, when they get their clothes, they're usually altered, so they fit them perfectly. Like Magnum in his jeans. You can't buy a pair of jeans, off the shelf, pop them on you, and you look like that. However, you can if you know what to look for. I'll be discussing that in future videos. Today we're concentrating on his underwear. So really, you want these things to be fairly fitted, okay? Boxers have a tendency maybe to be a little bit loose in the back, but really you don't want anything super baggy. And that's really the problem when you go out and you try and find a pair of boxers. They're just way too baggy, okay? Now, we don't want something so tight that they're uncomfortable either, because that's stupid. Oh, we look like Magnum, but they're so uncomfortable. I think I've been through actually a lot of boxers, about 5 or 6 different ones I bought, that are supposed to be slim fitted, trim, all that stuff. None of them really did the trick. I mean, they just were still baggy. However, I think I found a very good match. Here again, with all the videos, when we talk about Dress Like Magnum, we want close. We talk about close or exact. Close is where, hey, it's pretty much, maybe it's not, it might be a few details missing, but basically it's in the spirit of Magnum, and it's basically gives you the same look. But there might be a few details missing. And then there's exact, where, hey, you just nailed it, like everything's perfect. This is kind of like an in-between thing, really. So what do you want to look for? Well, these are jockey, okay? And they're a tapered, okay? So in other words, that's kind of like a slim fit. They're 100% cotton, so they're very comfortable. But it's that tapered fit that you want to look for. So you go on Amazon or you go to the jockey website and you type in, tapered boxers, and you'll come up with these. They come in about 4 different colors or so. And out of the package, actually, they fit pretty well. And that's because of the tapered aspect, which, like I say, that's really where you want to come close to Magnum. Is his was pretty fitted, and you can get that just out of the bag. Now, what I did was when I put them on, because of my build, they seemed a little bit too long. And these are 5-inch, they were 5-inch inseams. So I had them take 1.5 inches off. I went to have them altered, and had them taken up 1.5 inches, and they still look the same, as they did when they came out of the package as far as, the trim and everything. So it's very possible, just go to an alteration place and they can take them out to 1.5 inches, and then voila, they're going to be perfect. This is going to be so close. They're going to be fitted and they're going to be the right length. So here again, jockey is what you want to look for if you want to dress like Magnum and duplicate those boxers. All right, until next time, aloha.